program theme is the Black dollar. I'm always all about the home ownership, period, where you live, where you work, where you eat. Long story short, we already know that the Black dollar circulates in our community in a matter of hours versus others that last weeks, days, and months. So keep that little nugget in the back of your mind. I know that we're going to do some group things as far as having like conversation pieces with each other, and then we're going to present afterwards our like ideas and answers to the questions and things like that. Next after me is Mr. Greg Brown with the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. He's going to discuss some banking and all of that good stuff and us keeping our money in our community and what are, I guess, the health of our Black community finances should look like and what they're currently looking like. So just sit tight, guys.
Thank you for that introduction. I want to say good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
God bless you. And whenever we talk about money, we talk about something of value. And there's nothing more valuable than everybody in this room. And even when we talk about money, what we're really talking about is, how do we monetize these gifts of God that each one of us has had. Now, He brought each of us into existence for a particular purpose. I mean, we're standing on shoulders that are no longer here. We have civil liberties that people pay the price of freedom of blood for us to have. So keeping that in mind in the context of Black history, when we talk about money, we're talking about empowerment. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. That's why we're here. And I want to thank Elijah for inviting me. Appreciate it. We met a few months ago at another event. It was very successful. Speak on it, and we're similar to what we're doing here. People can voice their input on issues that are important to them. I grew up in Chicago. Went to a Catholic school, went to Kenwood Academy, then went to Morehouse, and I had ambitions of becoming a dentist like my dad. My dad was very poor. He only had one pair of shoes, grew up in Arkansas, had 6 kids, he and my mom. And he was so poor he didn't even know he was supposed to have 2 pairs of shoes. He said, well, you can't wear one at a time anyway. So that was his mindset, but he never wanted to go back to being poor. So he was a good provider, He was so provider of my family. And I ended up getting kicked out of the house, I was like 3 hours short from graduating from college. He had me painting rooms. He told us all how to be a painter. We painted a room in my sister's house. She was recently married. And he was giving me money. And I was like, okay. We finished the last room, and Dad, you want to give me a couple dollars? He said, no. As far as I'm concerned, I'm through paying you. I sent you to school to get an education, and if you come back and down there letting your hair grow long, and someone told him I was smoking weed. And I was like, hey. But he said, hey, look, unless you could come up with $200 on the rent, $150 on the groceries, $50 on phone bill every month, you gotta get out of here. I said, but Dad. He said, shut up! I'm the king of this castle. And that's when he went into, you did all this, did that. So next week I found a job at my grandmother. She was banking at Illinois Service Federal, which is the oldest Black bank in Chicago. And she said, Greg, why don't you go down there and apply at the bank? They have an opening to tell it. So I said, okay. So I went and applied, got the job. And it was really interesting because I was a psychology major, and so when I got the job at the bank, I was always thinking about why we behave the way we do with money as a people. And then being a student of history, I found out that I was reading the Willie Lynch letter and it said that we were bought here to provide free labor for a white economic system. So I got that in the back of my mind. And then I found a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King opening an account at that bank. I was like, yeah, well, I'm in the right place. Because, so I developed a passion for black banking. After I was working at the bank, then it was some community organizers. I was there for like 20 years. Then community organizers was established in the Southside Community Federal Credit Union. And they were looking for a CEO. I worked in every department in the bank. And so I was like, well, let me go for this. I don't know about a credit union because they were talking about a credit union manager. Then they said, well, you know that credit union manager is also the president CEO. I said, okay, all right, I like that. Okay, so I went for it, and plus they were doing a lot of financial education classes, housing, the business plan was tight. So I'm just giving you a little backdrop on me, how I got into banking, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I've seen. When I started my career in banking in Chicago, we had it was 7 black banks. Now there's only 1 left. And it just happens to be the bank where I used to work before I took the job at the credit union. And it's no longer community owned, but it's owned by a family in Ghana, the Nduum family. And they run it a little bit differently than when it was owned by the community, because when they came in, they let everybody go in the community. But, they do things a little bit differently in Africa. They have banks in Africa, but they inherited a lot of real estate debt, and so they haven't been able to really get out of that hole that they've been in since they took over. So you're probably asking, well, what is the difference between a credit union and a bank? Well, a bank is owned by the stockholders. So they're running the business basically to make a profit first and foremost for the stockholders. Credit unions are owned by members. So when you join a credit union, you become a member owner. You have a vote, you can vote on the board of directors, you can run for the board of directors. You have some say in the financial growth and destiny of that financial institution. And as the young lady talked about, ownership is the key. Businesses, even your account itself, you're an owner of a share in the credit union. So starting there, now I just believe that we're only as strong as our dollars united. We've seen some significant progress over the years in terms of increasing our income potential, but we are targeted as consumers, so we want to change that narrative and become more owners. But I would say that from our perspective, we have to also understand the value of supporting. I don't really want to say supporting because, if you take ownership of someone, then it becomes your responsibility to the best of your ability to see how you can be part of the solution to that revolution. And if you knew the reason why money doesn't circulate in our communities 9 or 10 times in our other communities, I can tell you, it gets out at the banking level, and we all have direct deposit in the checks. We don't even get in this group. When it gets in those banks, they use that money to invest in the growth of their businesses that target us as consumers. So that's how we locked in. We are 13% of the population. We can control less than 2% of the wealth in the country. And entrepreneurship is definitely the way to go. Home ownership is definitely the way to go. Education is definitely the way to go. But even being successful in those areas, we haven't shrunk this wealth gap. So we're dealing with a systemic problem that is not just going to be solved as we increase our income potential. We got to attack it systemically. And to do that, we have to realize businesses, building communities. First and foremost, building your families. Everything that we have lost, has been stolen or destroyed, it's up to us to rebuild it. That's our challenge, is to rebuild that stuff. And if whatever hasn't been built, then it's our responsibility to build it. And then the fourth B is barter black. The barter black is basically, seeing how we can collaborate and work together, exchange goods and services. You might be good at sewing, and I need some stuff sewed, and I might be good at writing. Hey, you need something written out here. Okay, no barter. Or any common exchange of value. Sometimes it's not always has to be equal value, because when we work together and barter with one another, we're still working to build something greater than what existed before our collaboration. So collaborations are always good and positive. And then the fifth B is to bequeath black, which means, whatever wealth we acquire and accumulate, we have generations and generations and generations that are coming after us that we want to pass it down to. So, in our pursuit to be successful, just keep in mind that there's a difference between being successful and being liberated. You can be successful and still be in these economic chains of captivity, because the folks that wrote the Constitution wrote racism as a part of whole DNA to keep us locked in. So, but we're smarter than that. If you trace back even before slavery, we were kings and queens. We are the originators of civilization, period. Timbuktu, we built them. The pyramids, we built those too. So when you know who you are, then you know what to do. So knowledge itself is always the first thing. But then you will see what your individual purpose and mission is within the context of hope. In Africa, there was an adage that says, I am because we are, and because we are, therefore I am. That means that all of us are one community. You got your family, you got your extended family, and that extended family goes this across, it's outside the United States, it's in Africa, it's in wherever we are, that's our extended family. And it's not to discriminate against any other group of people, but I think that we have a special calling, because no other group of people on this planet has been persecuted on the cross of crucifixion for over 400 years. So that makes us very powerful to even be here and have these conversations. But to he, she, who much is given, much is required. I think we have to challenge us in the room of all this possibility that here is. But banking is not rocket science. We got checking savings, CDs, we make loans, credit unions got better rates than banks probably too. IRAs no savings, no rates on loans, little no fees on basic transactions. Well, in the interest of time, I'm not going to take any more time up, but just thank you for your attention. I pray that each of you achieves your mission and purpose in life, and that we can work together to build a stronger, better world, starting with ourselves, with our family, with our community, with the city, with the state, United States, and beyond. But I believe the world is looking for traditions, you know, what we bring to the table. Just really try to find out how we can help each other, because the one thing that we don't have, that every other group of people has, they have a dream. You talk to the Chinese, they got the Chinese American dream. You talk to the Italians, they got the Italian American dream, so on and so forth. We didn't have time to come up and devise our own dream. Our dream became the American dream. But unfortunately, it's a dream that feeds into the mainstream economies. And before we had a chance to leverage those resources to recycle them into our dream. So that's something we still people perish for lack of vision. Hopefully through this conversation, you know, each of you can add on to what you think the African American dream is. Theirs is tied to a land base, resources, and that's probably why we don't have one, because we knew that if we took all of the intellectual capital that we have here in this country and used it to build a bridge to the motherland, which is rich in human resources, then we would be in the seat of power, because the wealthiest people on this planet are the ones not necessarily with the money, but with the capital that they derive from their ability to extract the resources out the earth and commoditize them for us to buy and sell. In the Congo, over here, still in the cobalt and make the cell phones that we talk on and exploiting the people on their land base. So if our heart is big enough, then we will look at solving more problems than just, you know, our vision has got to be bigger, that's all I'm saying. So, all right.
Thank you, and welcome guys again to the Black Excellence Forum. So, right now we're going to get into the activity, and this is going to be the implementation. Like my sister said, we're going to basically indulge in how to circulate the black dollar and what antidotes and struggles do you perceive when circulating the black dollar, and how can we solution oriented when circulating the black dollar. Okay?
And so we're going to break up into groups of threes. So we just start off 1, 2, 3, and then go over to the left, right, middle, back. So you can start with 1, So we'll split up in our groups based on your numbers. We've got the ones over there, 2s right here, 3s over here, and then we'll let you guys know what the questions are after you guys get into your groups.
Oh, it's not good.
barbershop or if I'm getting set up, my uncle on that. So, you know, like, I'm blessed to be able to, like, even get informed
Because
that,
I
yes.
told everybody in my building what was going on there. And a lot of them on the front end, and I didn't know why I wanted to lost that. Don't put in the time to learn. But I know I didn't know that without properly into my business. I probably would have a different thing. I'm grateful that it's like a learning part, kind of pretty much like it's up in everything and pretty much getting everything that I wish I could learn when I have time to learn. But I don't think a lot of people understand how easy it is to gain property. Like, I don't have a lot of money without my property. Close with $8,000. I mean, spend a lot of money on repairs. Like, you put away 20-year appointments.
Anyway, the house right here, a lot of it's not long, so we just want to say great, feel that patient and facade,
Like, we got it like that, even though we don't.
And you know, thank you, but somebody had down and came to us and we get certain moments and stuff to be able to buy some notes or something like that came. That's what I'm saying, somebody didn't have to tell us, you have to hear how, things like that. So it's but then again, then they also have to leave here and just, what do we do when we leave?
Right. We supposed to have like that. I wanted to know, like,
Strategically, if we approach this like it's war, then, that's how we got to play that. This is not no joke,
So then they can start some individual families, start like how they concepts like that, family, what do you think like when we have community-based organizations that talk about financial literacy, smaller platforms, bigger platforms, that we already know like I need you. So do we start something on a bigger scale? We try to say, hey, we got this coalition, we circulate from the Black perspective, and you just try to push it out.
well, I think those are those are, yeah.
I think everything started out.
Me too, yeah.
Everything started out, but what you don't know, and how to teach your kids, or like talk to them, you won't know, and it's just going to continue to learn. So I think education is important.
I think that's so that's right.
It's like how you say, how you raise your family, the way you discuss. You know, and we know, we're on the same page, this conversation, man, we're gonna take it back to our families and see how we can do it. But I know this, the question was, how do we keep the dollar circulating? Certainly you can't avoid what I just said about maintenance, because it's always going to need to get there. So, because we don't even look at who's spending. Well, the thing about it is, we don't really invest in business. People put on the stock exchange. So when you think about building wealth for their money, we have some businesses just like us that are on the stock exchange. And that way, they're already involved into the banking system, they bring that money back. And we're not circulating amongst each other, and creating jobs. And that's the one thing everybody's banking on. We're not banking. So, you guys
way more red tape than their white counterparts just to stay open. And I mean, like the police is coming in, oh, we check the licenses, doing this and the third. And we have everything. It's just the fact that the police presence is there. It's like, it makes it look bad. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of, like I said, maybe because I do have the hands on that. It is red tape. Like, let's say like a Root Chris have a different vendor for paper cups and things like that they can pay for, but oh, you gotta spend, say you gotta spend $500 in this or whatever, but the smaller bar, they can't spend that on that, so they gotta go out to the little stores where we, you know, jewels or whatever, and pay the markup price versus the wholesale price because they don't have the money, the funds, or the bodies in their establishment to get to be able to scale up. So,
Are we looking to
and it get like, oh well, damn, we don't ever have this, we don't ever have that. Yeah, but it's systematically, it get cringy and it gets crunchy, you know what I'm saying? Like a crunch thing, only because like I said, I like a little, y'all, I'll be trying with my black business, especially working, like, but I'd rather always work for somebody black than my white counterparts, because just that grace that gets extended for something, because you understand what it is for me to get here. Oh, let me take the questions. Okay, so the questions are, how does that circulate the black dollar? The experiences and those that you had when it comes to circulating the black dollar, and then like the solution, like unforeseen like a solution, or what issue or challenges do you see going forward trying to circulate the black dollar?
So now, facilitators, raise your hand. Okay, now what this has you guys have 15 minutes. It is 7:27, so we're gonna come back at
7:45, or like 7:40.
and we'll let you know we have 2 minutes. Any questions? Thank you guys. Sure. So, questions. How to circulate the black dollar? What antidotes or stories or like things that happened to you, like when you were circulating the black dollar and experiencing black businesses, and how can we be solution oriented when those problems or those bad stories happen?
For example, if you feel like circulating the black dollar is good, but you've had too many experiences where you don't like to circulate the black dollar as much, you can talk about that, and then maybe somebody in the group will have a solution on, like if you go to a restaurant and you don't like their food and you decide just not to go back, instead of talking to the owner about, what happened and what your experience was, just to try to, open up our minds a little bit more about how we can get back into black businesses instead of just insulting or moving on from black businesses, if that makes sense. And other black businesses that we can support, you guys know any specific black businesses that you've been to before you would enjoy, we can throw that in there too. So just trying to get open minds, that's all. Okay.
Thank you.
I think a good way to start, like you mentioned another okay.
I'm hoping this conversation you take with you and you take what you have learned today and take it to other people in your network and have those conversations, because that's the only way that we can begin to implement a strategy to begin to be successful for our dollar to circulate. Okay? So group 1, can you tell us anything and antidotes or struggles that your group talked about?
So basically what we were just kind of like discussing was stories, but also like solutions. So let's start with like solution based first. When it comes to circulating the black dollar, is being patient with each other. Being patient with each other, extending grace to each other, and understanding that a lot of these our businesses are small businesses, and we're comparing them to businesses that's been around, that already kind of like worked out the kinks of everything, and then also patience. Oh, and most importantly, the mindset. Like going in your mind, think, okay, regardless, I'm going out, and this dollar that I'm spending today is going to a black business, period. Regardless of whatever that might look like. If it's a car wash, you get some food, you want to talk to your real estate broker. All things. Did I get everything I found? Oh, and then Lanae told me she won. Having more conversations and events like this where we have vendors like Mr. Greg Brown to tell us about things other than, obviously the regular things that we talk about, but understanding black business, black banking, taxes, not the same, but ownership, home ownership, and get it from somebody that look like us, speak like us, and can break it down to us.
Thank you. That was awesome. That was awesome. Great job. You can have a round of applause. I'm sorry.
I guess we'll head on. Okay. You want to tell us what
I'll speak briefly about what Group 2 is talking about, but for the most part, I think it's best to allow group members to speak on their own individual perspectives, because I don't speak for everyone. But I think one of the important pieces that they talked about within our group was being strategic with how we recirculate the black dollar. So like Mr. Brown was saying, when we looking at these communities, where are these black businesses located within several different communities, so that when we form whatever alliance or coalition to attack and recirculate things, so that we be a little bit more, again, strategic with the approach that we're using. And anybody else want to chime in on giving yourself, understanding that, we have a lot of work to do within individually or collectively as well. Identifying different coalitions and activists that may support the things in which we're discussing.
We also pretty much chime in about how we have to be what was it called? Community from different, like the decided to let us be on the bus, so, yeah, like, they just pretty much challenged segregation just so they could have us on the bus and have our money. We have to continue that because it's people in this turn, 2023 that fight for our rights. Some people was like, want to back class not a thing, but, just some people that's not going to do all of that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's around here, it's good point. Every movement has some type of economic impact. So she's talking about like how in Rosa Parks, doing her spiel with the buses, and of course that affected the transportation system. So it brings us to the point where we're trying to stop Black Friday. So did everybody support this collectively when it was time to stop the mass that controls, how we recirculate all the black dollars and somewhere else. But it's a lot of different things we need to discuss. This gentleman has some good points he was talking about within families that we want to discuss.
One of the things I mentioned was, in order for the black dollar to even circulate is, do we even have access to it? And one of the things about us having access to it is that a lot of us are very ignorant when it comes to how to lead families' money. We come to ignorant of even how to even save, even how to use money within the black businesses. So it's not that I don't think people are like not pro-black or people do not want to support black businesses, but honestly they even really have it to do so. And I'm just being 100. When most of us get paid, we looking to go buy some shoes, we looking to go shop, we looking to go kick it. Which is fine and all, but honestly, what are you doing more so to set yourself up for the future, not only for yourself and your family, but also others that is part of this community too. And so honestly, I just I'm an educator, and so I just see it every day that there are so many families. It's unfortunate to see that they honestly just do not know, and that because they do not have access to it.
You also talk about mimicking behaviors. You talk about mimicking.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, yes. I'm glad you said that because so what it is with most families is that they mimic what they see at home. So if I see my mom, dad, and my aunt spend money this way, 9 out of 10, you want to do the same thing. It's almost like it's hereditary. You know what I'm saying? I see my uncle go get a pair of J's every week. So I'm like, my uncle, they get a pair of J's every week. And so not knowing that you could be keeping that $200, $300, like, hey, let me put $100 in my savings, but let me also put another $50 in the black community you got circulating the black dollar. And so this, once again, mindset, as we once said, but that's because of the black taxes.
And we mentioned, like, sometimes we've been so used to being poor and being, like, low class. Sometimes we just want to look good. And that's the mindset. It's the wrong mindset. You got to sometimes grind a little bit. And we're dogging things just to put in and work in so you can have access. But I mentioned to my group was I wanted my children, I don't have children, I wanted to start, like, seeing what I could do for my children, building a trust fund, incomes for them before they even get here as good as possible. But, a lot of, I don't want to say nothing just white people, but a lot of white people know how to do stuff like that already. And they know how to, like, I don't know how they get into the game already, but they already know how to put stuff in their children's
Because it's mimic behavior, like before we break out, because I know we said like a lot of good things, but I know that we're all like above the resources. So is there any resources about us being black? Like he said, we lack knowledge. So is there any resources that you want to share that you feel like you got to get off your chest, or like knowledge about like insurance? Like as black people, like you said, we need to have insurance. Like you said, setting up something for our kids that's that insurance piece. Buying black, like you got these real estate people that are here. If you're not where you need to be, they can get you where you need to be. So, is there anything that you feel like, oh, I want to share? Like I got to get this out. Like as black people, we have to know this.
I know red people would, that's
other outlets to be able to process my thoughts inside the people around me. So I have a black beard, it's like a recommendation.
Okay, so maybe we can do if everybody wrote down, I'm gonna nurse down, we can do a resource list, so you guys can email links too.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying, because just for time and also so that we can remember these things, we'll have a resource list come out from Elijah. If you put your email down on this sheet of paper, and then that way, if you also have a resource, if you want to flip the piece of paper over and write it down.
Well, you don't have to write it down. When he sends out the information, you can reply to the email, so it can be an ever-going chain, and it doesn't have to stop there. It can be a continued source of resources for everybody in the room. Yeah, but it's gonna be ongoing.
Or create a link.
Yep. If you want resources, you gotta do a little looking. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm gonna pass it to our entertainment for tonight.
But before we do go, we're Black Excellence. We just want to let y'all know that we do a lot of events like this. We go out and talk to people, and we try to get back to our communities, and we're trying to grow as a business. So just want to let y'all know, Black Excellence. We're Black Excellence on Instagram as well, so you can find us there, and just share any ways that we can give back and help, because we love serving our community.
Woo! Y'all, it's not because I can't do back pain, I'm not that girl. However, because in light of like what happened with the guy and the police and all that, which is a whole host of them, I want us to make sure like we start really thinking about life insurance and securing that and getting it young. Because not to say like, oh, something's gonna happen because you're gonna die, you know you're gonna die. However, that money, that's really the generational wealth right there.
And it's not about the 50,000, it's about getting a big package, like
Yeah.
100 and 150,000. Because the same package for 50,000, you can get for 150,000 without no medical background and not doing no screenings.
Yeah.
To piggyback off of health insurance, you can also borrow from your life insurance for your death benefit. So that's your money. You can pay that back. It's not like you have a certain time to pay it back. That's your money. So a lot of people think when it comes to life insurance, it's a waste of time. It's really not, because that is what white people are doing all the time.
It is looked at as an asset. When you're talking about with the money that you have and things that are looked at as an asset, that's looked at as an asset if you can be able to borrow from it. But the ones that's 50,000, you can't borrow from those, it's too low. And then, so
Keep that in mind.
But you know you gotta learn right now, nothing like that, but
you gotta start somewhere. That's
And you want whole life, not term life.
Yeah.
But even still, we gotta work right now. Everybody got, and you can't get everybody, and I'm not trying to be negative. However, instead of having these GoFundMe, fish fries, and collection plates, you gotta stay right there. Call the insurance company, because I can guarantee you, with all this police brutality, if each one of them people had some type of life insurance policy, and how we're getting killed and hunted down at the rate that we are, I'm telling you right now, the insurance company will be on the police department's behind because they got to pay out.
Another thing, generational wealth. I don't know how many people in here have children, but it seems like a lot of people have businesses. If you consider or already have children, you have a business, you can also set up a custodial Roth IRA for your child. So that way, when by the time they get 18, they can use that money to go to school, they can start a business, they can get some credit. You can also put them on your line of credit. By the time they turn 18, they have some established credit. So yeah.
I would say a couple of things. Definitely that, and also being able to borrow from your life insurance. But I just wanted to speak just on the idea of mindset. Like I think that there's a lot of people in my network that I hear, and I've said this before as well. Like my mom didn't teach me this, my dad didn't teach me this. Like we gotta consider ourselves the new leaders. You know what I'm saying? We gotta consider ourselves people that's gonna sacrifice. Because it's gonna take a lot of work and all that. But just imagine, or just think about all the people that came before you that put in work, that sacrifice. We talk about slave mentality. That these people were slaving. For real, you know what I'm saying? So like, just considering that, just pushing a little bit, going a little bit further to with our mindset.
Reversing the blame game.
Yeah.
Not even reversal, just even starting a new chapter, you know what I'm saying? Because reversal is a whole journey in itself, you know? But it just starts with that commitment.
That was good. Thanks a lot.
All right, so guys, that's the perfect segue. Yes, clap for everyone. So I'm just gonna briefly come up here again. I just have something quick to say. Obviously, I want to thank each and every one of you all for being here. I hope you all understand that this is literally just a starting point. It's to foster some type of thinking that you all can take back to your friends, take back to your communities, as well as enrich your community and others. So ideally, hopefully you not only got something to take home from today, but we'll also be following up. We will contact you via email with different resources, as well as Facebook is a great resource. That's primarily what we use to kind of get the information out. So just to reiterate again, thank you all for coming, but more specifically, all of the speakers today were very intentional. You had Lo, who gave us the introduction. She is a colleague of mine in real estate. Everyone in here should focus on home ownership. Again, you should not only own your home, but you should own other homes. So building a real estate portfolio is going to be the basic way, the basic gateway to wealth. It's going to be the basic gateway to the generational wealth. So again, home ownership will be utilizing her, me, or Tyrone to purchase real estate property. Again, networking was the first piece of today's event. So we didn't have our lender here today due to the weather. We also didn't have our life insurance agent here due to the weather. But again, if you all need those resources, I do have a plethora of life insurance agents, credit repair agents, whoever you all may need to not only purchase a home, but just to elevate yourself overall. Mental health experts. I do practice mental health. I am licensed here in the state of Illinois. I do work with individuals who are also practicing right now in private practice. So again, if anyone needs any bit of resources, we definitely want to connect you all to them. So that's to thank you for not only those individuals, but Black Excellence. I want to give a shout out to them, Aaron and Keisha. Let's clap it up for them. My main co-facilitators for just about everything. I think everybody knows that they are great friends of mine, but they presented today not only because they're colleagues and friends of mine, but also because they offer a service that almost all small businesses pretty much need. They offer virtual assistant services as well as startup services for companies. So again, you want to get your LLC off the ground, you want to get your nonprofit off the ground, you want to start get help with your business plan, your business licensing, all of that. They do all of that for you all. So it was not only intentional, but it's also imperative that you all get to know individuals like these people as well as your colleagues who you sit amongst. Because the only way that we're going to liberate ourselves is by connecting and unifying. The only way that we're going to circulate the dollar is by unification. And that's going to take place with you all not only supporting Black businesses, but also coming over resolutions and all of that good stuff. So again, the resources will be via my Facebook page, and I thank you all for coming out. Stay tuned for more events. Again, this year is the year of record breaking. So I am walking in my passion, and I am doing more mental health events. I'm doing more community events. So in this same exact space, just real briefly, a couple of things that we're doing next. We will be doing a youth mentorship program. It's going to be a full week program where we talk to kids about real estate, stocks, and all of the things that aren't taught in school. That'll be coming sometime this spring. I'm also doing a men's mental health group that'll be, right now, it's going to be a one-time basis, but we're possibly looking to make that something that's consecutive. But again, stay tuned for more events. I really do appreciate you all supporting me, and I look forward to seeing you all more.
Hi everybody. Hey. How y'all doing today? So, I'm one of the entertainers for tonight. I'm MJ Royale. How y'all doing today? Alright, and let me just say that this event is incredible. I know I came in and kind of sorry. But I appreciated everybody's ideals. I appreciate everybody coming in and bringing their resources and bringing on the knowledge as somebody that's an artist and trying to get their own business together, as a performance artist and a upcoming that you guys are here. So, once again, I'm MJ Royale. Yeah, you see, you mentioned that earlier. I was like, okay. So, yeah, I'm a performance artist. I mainly rap, but I also do sing, act, voice act, and I do poetry. And I want to start off by asking you guys this. You guys know what it's like to put on a face, right? Where you meet up with your boss, or you meet up with your friend, or you meet up with your mom. And it's all different types of masks that you have to put on. But when it's 2 a.m. and you take your mask off, what does that sound like? What do your conversations with yourself sound like? Does it sound uplifting? Does it sound present? Does it sound quiet? Well, I would like to talk to you guys about my 2 a.m. Yo, I wake up to the same stuff every single day. Put on the face of wondrous character I'ma play. Don't let the hyper look into all out. Or do a blast of music in my ears to the world out. Constantly fumbling to follow with myself. Cause I'm reminded daily that I'm a freaking mess. Put my hair in a bun with a suit and call myself Big E. The pro that my mama let cause she's confident and pristine. Only to realize this isn't truly my persona. In the end of hating this feeling, so I don't wanna be bothered. Accordingly, I can majesty translates to corporate diets. The real meaning of my name shot the bullet with anxiety. No one understands, no one truly understands. That's why I be flying away into my imaginary land. Into a I like to keep it by the beats and magic call. My magic mind traces the line that makes the scripture of my life a toast. This is what it all comes down to. The world on my shoulders, I'm scared to break through. This is what it all comes down to. At 2 a.m. free mindless with that backstage shoot. This is what it all comes down to. This is what it all comes down to. Down to, down to, hey, down to, down to, down to, hey. So that's that piece. I also wanted to share something with you all that happened to me a few years ago. I'm sure that when I say this, it's like people getting chills down their spine. Police brutality, right? It's a very uneasy topic to cover, and it's very traumatic. A couple of years ago, my then boyfriend and I were hanging out, and I dropped him off, and I was on my way home. And I got pulled over because my tail light was broken. But it didn't take 1 cop to come to my car. It didn't take 2 cops to come to my car. It took 3 cops to approach my vehicle to tell me that something's wrong with my tail. And while I understood that it was for my safety, and I understand it's for their safety, it was still a very unsettling thing because all of these images came up in my head. So in regards to that time, I wrote a piece about it. So here it goes. I done went and kissed my man today. Later on, I saw the man in the field to play. Choco brown and piggy pink on mighty me. Red, black, and green done seen the blue audacity. I'm blue by the tragedy that come from a simple pullover. Thoughts of Sandra, Mike, and Oscar in the street, but I wish there was a Rover to be the superhero of my temper psyche. I speak proper enough to go, but my skin makes the pics not like me. I see the same images in my head every day. Black boy killed by officer. Police left black woman slain. Pimp, pimp! Hooray! Timbo fear to meet that massive quota. They more bolder to tackle over black bodies like rocks crumbled by your Toyota. And granted, it's all over, and I'm here to speak. They pulled me over for a warning, but it's a biggie to me. I'm stunned. Electricity bolts from their lips. They say it's for safety. They say it's for safety, but lately they've been too quick to mistake fear for a clip. Thank you, guys. And, you know, this was me going back home. Originally, I'm from the west side Chicago. So, yeah, I know I'm in South Side territory. So, if y'all all from the South Side, make some noise. Okay, I hear you all, I hear y'all. And absolutely, like, us being from Chicago, you know what I'm saying? Chicago is a beautiful city. We have so many resources. We have tons and tons of community. And honestly, people look at us and think, oh, police brutality or black on black violence and gang violence. But really, we are a cultural city and we have a lot to offer. So, you know, I wrote a song in regards to the West Side and my love for the West Side.
West side of me, I got the vibes that you need. Play that
Elijah for holding this wonderful event. Shout out to the Black businesses. And yes, guys, if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at its_MJ. That's its_EMJAI. EMJAI. And when you search me up, you're gonna see like a girl with a little baby goat. That's me. The goat's name is Chewy. He's so cute. So yeah, guys, add me and I'll be sure to follow you back. Thank you.
Yeah. Alright, so
Yes.
I got 3 songs, but I'm gonna cut it down for y'all. I'm just gonna do 2 of them, get out y'all. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hop into it, like. So Richard, well, underscore. Hold on. Yo. Yeah, so my name is Rizzo Ricky. My Instagram is TGF_IZZO. Just gonna hop into it. Stand up, huh? Both these songs are out. This last one is called Black. I have a feature with her. Her name is Artemis, but she's not here, so I'm gonna do her part anyway. Cause I gotta have some snap with her. But so yeah, we're going on to it. If you black, go on and tell me. If you black, go on your dance. If you black, throw your hands. If you black, you was my man. If you black, go on and vibe out. innocent crucified. I was asking for him to go still alive, steady pussy for what? I forgot. If he find out the answer, then dead me. Offers me talking too much, I'm on dead me. Always go to the most high. My friend, she says to me, so I stay out. They think me dumb and stupid and don't really see what they doing in this house. I pray for my son every night. He been like me, so we gotta fight. I try to make difference, I try, but this shit don't happen overnight. They put stuff in our food, and I know that. Deep in that night, I know that. Ain't they killing us in these hospitals, we need down the court. Yeah, got the dream of the black and white diamonds. Yeah, like the king with the Corvette. We black, just told that, okay. If you black on it, still me, if you black on it, dance. If you black, throw your hands. If you black, use my pants. If you black on here, vibe out. If you black on here, set out. If you black, then you the game. If you black, then we the same. Those black on here, still me. If you black on it, dance. If you black, throw your hands. If you black, use my pants. If you black on here, set out. If you black on here, set out. If you black, then you the game. If you black, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. And you got the drip, been more than 400 years of ignoring my tears. I'm hoping they slip, stand on the county, I protested and fought. This for us to go sit, I don't act a fool. As soon as they tell me I can't, through my ancestors I trip. I'm on those acres of land where they blood in their hands. So I stack up my bands, I came with a drum. And just the way your body rock, you will think that we your band. That's what they plan, just get the glue on the dance. Tell our people clap their hands, my people explain. We gon' live it with the plan, I repeat this to a fan. I what you saying, if you black and I'm trying to spin bucks with you. On the bond, you promise I run with you. Every garden, you cover you think. Alright, got what she said, but it's cool. She said I ain't gon' lie like that. Hey, this is good, yo, OTG, okay. If you black on this, tell me, hey. If you black on your dance, if you black, use my bands, if you black, throw your hands, if you black on here, say it out, if you black on here, vibe out, if you black, then you the game, if you black, then we the same, if you black on here, tell me, if you black, throw your hands, if you black on here, dance, if you black, use my bands, if you black on here, say it out, if you black on here, vibe out, if you black, then you the game, if you black, then we the same, yeah, black, black. It's out everywhere and all that goodness and all that. So yeah, once again, we appreciate y'all. We part of NC School and yeah, appreciate y'all.
Sitting by the side to spur all my energy to the people. And having spurred back into me because we are all reflections, we are all giving. We are giving. We have been taken. But we have been given. We've been given so much. We've taken from away so much from what we've been and everything that we've been through. It's like our anger is not our own. You think about slavery and how like a mental construct and it traces down to our DNA, and it's a lot of the trauma, a lot of the hurdles that we all face in our communities now, you can name it. It's that. That's all we do. I'm gonna lead y'all with this speech, I'm gonna get out y'all way. This holy form, the surface on the street, man, it has it like oversee the plan and commotion through satellite. It's spinning, start forces, the sources say I satellite. It's my black magic, I can see it now after life. All these operations are coming closer. Spiritually, I'm gifted. Occupation is just my existence. I'm getting older. They charging me to live through called push, now I'm playing controller. 1 foot in the grave, but I'm still deep in this exposure. Got my foot in the door so I can seek into the closure. Tipping through these scales that got us all bipolar. Had to step into your core, switch to higher plane. You got a vibe lower, you sad sober by higher name. Smoke you out and confine your older. A king by had the man. A lamb, a god, but is this my nation? Like where Elijah said, I like to bet these odds and devil behind the horse in my fire hand. Big counting up these properties, you can't purchase a honey plan with my battle plan, so you can marry the beast and get that level band. Part of these particles cry peace for the shadow scan. So you can marry the beast and get that level band. Let me off a bear, my spark through this narrow man, so you have to hate shit heavy to your heart, you ain't never land. Meet me in the middle, I done told you about mentals, made of iron, reaching for gold and council would resemble. The demons that couldn't fold me out, but they paid for my temple. It's you. I ain't bothered, but I'm setting up these sides so we can see a battle of choices. Bringing the father leaders through the plain to hear your voices. Washing over the vein and losses that equal poison. The pain that can cause this, that causes grief and noises. Thoughts frame my mind and so it's metaphysical energy connected to the brain and time. A critical entity we master that same divine. I descended from this book of my Martin and Stevie Science. Speaking to you, sights more than sisters that's been defined. You should go.
Ocean leaping wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so,
yeah, I am a conqueror of overseas, overseas. Popped up the path of the poet and cold speed. Got the devil on the road in the sun. Not talking easy on your face. I must have Google all the door, must have creatures. Preachers done all I got to God, I must have features. Head is stole, get it full. Immaculate procedures, we emasculated the mission, the limit spans no consciousness. Around
Turn the speaker. Turn the speaker this way. The other way.
Say,